Carrie from Bursts of Autumn, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the things that I got in my book haul, which was mainly Waterstones with one exception. So yeah, I just thought that I would do a nice long video just discussing all of the books that I got during my latest trip to a bookstore. One of the books are from Amazon, and that is something that I'm really looking forward to reading. A lot of people have said that it's an amazing book, and I just wanted more insight into this topic, so I bought it. But I'll share that with you a little bit later once I've finished showing you the books that I bought from Waterstones. So the last few months have been really difficult, and I was just feeling quite under the weather, and one of the things that makes me feel better is books and being cozy. So I decided to pop into my local shopping centre that has Waterstones in it. Excuse me. And yeah, I ended up coming out with 12 books, and I went in a few weeks later and bought another book, and then I bought another book online. So I'm going to share all of them with you just to show you exactly what I got, and see if any of you have either already read these books or they're on your list. I would love to know what you think. So I've got my receipt here because some of the prices were reduced, and I'd rather tell you what I bought them for rather than what's on the actual hardback or just the book in general. So yes, the first book that is on my list is this one, and it is The Gothic Tales of H.P. Lovecraft, edited by Javier Aldana Reyes, and it is the British Library. Now that, I have to admit, caught my eye, and it was one of the reasons why I bought this book, because although I'm very interested in H.P. Lovecraft and just all things Lovecraftian, all things that are very gothic, I thought this would be an amazing addition to some flat lays and also to decoration basically for Halloween and autumn, but to be honest, my life in general, because I like to have like a gothic corner of my bedroom where I've got all my creepy gothic things. So yes, this book is really beautiful. The spine is beautiful, the cover's beautiful, even the back's beautiful, and yeah, H.P. Lovecraft, what more can I say? I've got Necronomicon by H.P. Lovecraft, and it's literally like this big, but when I saw this I was like, that looks amazing, so I went for it. So this was $14.99, and this one was not reduced, it was the full price. And I know that some of you are thinking $14.99 for this, but no, it's absolutely worth it. H.P. Lovecraft is one of the best authors of all time, and yeah, just I absolutely love the sort of folklorish tales in here, so I'm really looking forward to reading that. I will probably do like an autumn Halloween TBR, and I'll probably include this on there. But yeah, so that was the first one that I bought. I'm going down on the receipt because it's got all of them in order and then the prices, so I just thought that I would go down in order of that. And if you want to check out my blog post just to sort of jog your memory of these books, or you'd rather read a blog post than watch a video, then all of these are in exactly the same order as well. So yes, The Gothic Tales of H.P. Lovecraft, so awesome. I've got some very noisy beasts downstairs, so I apologise if you can hear them. The second one is The Ghost Stories of M.R. James, edited by Roger Luckhurst, and again it is the British Library. Now you're probably thinking that looks exactly like the other book, and yeah, they are basically. So they're both from the British Library, and hence why they look so similar. I assume they're sort of made in and by the same. Yeah, cover art by Sinem Urkus. So yeah, that's why, and I absolutely love them. And again, so The Ghost Stories of M.R. James, again I went by sort of how it looked as well, but then when I saw that it was ghost stories, sorry I'm a bit out of breath, I've just had to run down and tell the beasts to be quiet. But yeah, so I am instantly hooked when anything supernatural crime horror kind of thing appears. So saw the cover and I was like, wow. Then when I read the title and the blurb on the back, I was like, I'm sold. So yeah, that was meant to be $14.99, but it was $12.99. I'm not entirely sure why, but I am not complaining. Let me just pour myself a drink. The third book that I chose was one that I've been hearing about for a while now, one that I've been hearing about from various different people, and it's called The Girl with All the Gifts. And I assume that you've probably heard about this if you are within the book community. It is quite a big book at the moment, if I am correct, and it's by M.R. Carrie. And yeah, when I read this, I was like, that sounds really cool. So I read the blurb and the sort of testimonial kind of reviews, and I was thinking, this reminds me of 11 from Stranger Things. And yeah, when I read sort of into it, I was like, yeah, that really does sound like it. It really does, because it's about a girl who basically has all of these supernatural gifts, and she's essentially institutionalized because of how powerful she is. So yeah. I'm really intrigued in reading this. It's quite a large book compared to the other ones, but it sounds like it'd be really cool. And to be honest, I mean, I know I say it'd be good for like Halloween, but most of my books are horrors, so I guess I'm just mainly a Halloween kind of reader. So yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit thrown off by having to like go downstairs and stuff, so my brain is still sort of kicking back into the Luna, you're filming a video. So, but yeah, so this book was $8.99, so I paid full price for this, $8.99, and that is super good for this kind of book, how big it is, and also just the quality of it as well. So I was more than happy to pay that, obviously, hence why I did. So yeah, I would love to know if you've read this or what you've heard about it. I'm very intrigued by the fact that it's red and yellow. I think they're very eye-catching colours. So the fourth book, and again this one massively stood out to me by the cover of it. So this, I think that it is absolutely beautiful. It is a very gorgeous book, and I absolutely love the art style. And when you look closely, it's actually really simplistic. It looks like it's been like pen drawn, and then you've got like the silhouette here, and I love the fact that the title is in like a dim gold. So yeah, this is The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. So I read the blurb and it sounds really interesting. So Lauren and Miranda, they're best friends. They meet at the Ghost Tree every day, and Lauren's father was found in the woods with his heart torn out. No one was ever caught. A year later, the bodies of two girls are discovered. Lauren has a vision of a monster dragging human remains through the woods, and she knows that she can't keep doing nothing, not like the rest of her town. So yeah, I am really looking forward to reading this one. It sounds really interesting, really cool, and I am thinking that there could be some creatures in this, and if not, then it'll be a really cool murderer. So that sounds really cool. So I paid $8.99 for this one as well, which again I think is absolutely fantastic for how big it is. Again, the cover is a beautiful quality, and I am very looking forward to this. And it's also one I've never heard of before. So the fifth one, this is honestly like one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen, and I wasn't like incredibly pulled in, but I also was slightly intrigued. But I know that this is exactly what we're not meant to do as readers, but the cover of this book is so unbelievably beautiful that I couldn't not, like, it is absolutely beautiful. So this is The Hollow Places, and this is by T. Kingfisher. I mean, is that not just the most beautiful book? It's like this little, I don't know what you call it, I think it's a terrarium, and it's got like the skull and then the butterflies, and I just honestly, I think it's absolutely stunning, and I can't work out if it's been like painted or whether it's an actual picture that's been edited. So again, that will look absolutely incredible on my bookshelf, and also for like Halloween displays and stuff. But it does sound really interesting. So Cara finds the words in the mysterious bunker that she's discovered behind a hole in the wall of her uncle's house. Freshly divorced and living back at home, Cara now becomes obsessed with these cryptic words and starts exploring this peculiar area, only to discover that it holds portals to countless alternate realities. But these places are haunted by creatures that seem to hear her thoughts, and the more one fears them, the stronger they become. So yeah, that sounds really cool. Again, it sounds very mysterious, very supernatural, very just kind of, I suppose, not folklore, but like, you know, the different creatures that don't actually exist. But yeah, it sounds really good. But honestly, I have never ever seen a book cover this beautiful, so I am definitely holding on to that one. This one was £8.99, and again, what? Like, that is honest. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up now. Let me just neatly pile the books. So the next one that I've bought is a very, very famous film and a very famous book. There was a film adaptation from this book, and it's by one of the most legendary, famous horror authors in the world, and that is Stephen King, and this book is Carrie. Now, I have never seen this film, and the reason for that is because I wanted to read the book before I watched the film. I know that there is an old film and there's also a new remake of it with Chloe Moretz, but yeah, I just really wanted to read it before I watched the film, because I did the same with Silence of the Lambs and I preferred the book, but I really did enjoy Silence of the Lambs. And yeah, this will just be another one. So obviously we know that Carrie has basically got powers, and I think from what I know of the story, she's been bullied by people in her class very badly, and I think she develops powers, or they sort of start to come out of her during that time, and she basically fucks shit up. So yeah. So it's quite an intense book, I'm thinking. But yeah, that's one that I'm really looking forward to reading and reviewing, and then watching the films, because I think we just have to sometimes so that we can compare them. But yeah, so it's quite a thin book, to be honest. The kind of book that I could read in like a day or two. I'm not like incredibly fast reader. Like my friend Read by Beth, you probably follow her if you follow me. She's amazing and I love her. And she reads like so many books in a month, and I'm just like, I wish I could. But yeah, so Carrie was £9. I think that's a steal. It really is. I think that's absolutely brilliant for what it is. Excuse me again. I've been very chill today, very relaxed. I don't know if it's because I've drank my bedtime tea last night, which was, I think it's Tetley, and it is tea infused, or decaf tea infused with vanilla and nutmeg, which literally sounds like a dream. And then this morning I had a decaf coffee. So yeah, I'm trying to sort of cut down on my sugar and caffeine because of my anxiety. I've had some physical symptoms of anxiety, like tightness around my throat. So yeah, decaffing it all the way. But yeah, I've been very chill today, very productive, and now I'm filming this video. So without further ado, I will start on the 7th book, which I've already started reading because I'm super impatient. And this is another one by the legendary Stephen King, and it is The Gunslinger, which is the first part of the Dark Tower series. Yes, again, this has been made into a film called The Dark Tower, but I believe there's only one Dark Tower film, whereas there is 1, 2, 3, 4, There are 8 Dark Tower books in the series. This is the first one, called the Gunslinger, and I'm not hugely into stuff like this. I'm more so into horror, whereas this is more sort of fantasy. I'm not hugely into it, but I'm giving it a go, and I thought that while I was in Waterstones I would just buy the first book of the series, and if I enjoy it then I will buy the others. So I'm enjoying it at the moment. It's not the kind of book that I'm instantly like every day like, oh my god, I need to keep reading it, or I can't stop reading it. Unfortunately, that's not what this book gives me, but it is good and I'm giving it a chance. But yes, so I thought I'd buy this. I've also got, again, read by Beth. Oh my god, Beth, you are like massive in my vlog right now. Vlog? Video? So Beth actually made this bookmark and I bought it from her, and it's my favourite bookmark ever now. So yes. So yeah, the Dark Tower, and that is the first in the series, and that was also £8.99 as well, which is fantastic. The next book, you're probably going to be like, you're going off trail a bit. I am, yeah. So this is The Best Things by Mel, I'm going to try and pronounce her last name, Mel Giedroyc. That's it. And this is a signed edition, and I'm not gonna lie, as you can tell by the book haul so far, this isn't my kind of book. I am very much into horror, crime, supernatural, scary stuff, but this is definitely none of that. But it still sounds really nice, and honestly, like when you're reading horror stuff, watching horror games, playing horror games, you know, it gets quite daunting and it gets quite heavy. So sometimes I just like to take a break and watch some funny stuff, or read some funny stuff, or just some down to earth, you know, regular books, and I just thought I'd go for it. So The Best Things, and it's got Sally Parker is losing her grip, and then the word grip is just falling off, and I just felt like I related to it. So the joyous debut novel from comedian, writer, actor and presenter Mel Giedroyc. Sally Parker is struggling to find the hero inside herself. All she wants to do is lie down. Her husband Frank has lost his business, their home and their savings in one fell swoop. Their bank cards are being declined, the children have gone feral, and now the bailiffs are at the door. What does an ordinary woman do when the bottom falls out? Sally Parker is about to surprise everybody, most of all herself. So yeah, that just sounds really down to earth, like real life problems and real life people, and the kind of thing that we can relate to. And by the sound of it, you know, Sally really picks herself up and gets her life back on track, and I'm sure we can all relate to things like this because it's so realistic. So it's just the kind of thing that I thought I would sort of dip in and out of, and when I really need it, just read it. I thought I'd go for it. So yeah, I got that, and I just thought as well, it's a signed edition, so you can't go wrong really. So that was indeed £12.99, and yes, I know that it is on here, but on my receipt some of them are different. So yeah, that was £13, and I think considering it's quite a hefty book, quite a long, quite a thick book, and yeah, I just thought I would go for that. It seems like a pleasant book to read. So the next one, we're going back on track here, guys. So The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. I'm going to leave that up to you. And this sounds really cool, and that really reminds me of this Stephen King book, The Institute. I've not read The Institute yet, but I've got it and it's on my list. But that cover reminds me of it. But yeah, so The Sanatorium, and that is by yeah, I've already said that. I'm losing the will to live. losing the plot, guys, send help. So, at first glance, they're magnificent, yet the more she looks, the more she realises how sinister the mountains appear. Raw, jagged spikes. It's not hard to imagine, she thinks, looking out, this place somehow consuming someone, swallowing them whole. So, everyone's in danger, anyone could be next. An imposing isolated hotel high up in the Swiss Alps is the last place Eileen Warner wants to be. But she's taken time off from her job as a detective, so when she receives an invitation out of the blue to celebrate her estranged brother's recent engagement, she has no choice but to accept. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Eileen immediately feels on edge. Though it's beautiful, something about the hotel, recently converted from an abandoned sanatorium, makes her nervous, as does her brother Isaac. And when they wake the following morning to discover her fiancé Law has vanished without a trace, Eileen's unease grows. With the storm cutting off access to and from the hotel, the longer Law stays missing, the more the remaining guests start to panic. But no one has realised yet that another woman has gone missing, and she's the only one who could have warned them just how much danger they're all in. So, again, that sounds more, just hit myself in the face, that sounds more up my street, sounds much more like the kind of thing that I would read, and yeah, that was all. Again, that was £12.99, and I really like the book cover to this as well. I think it's really beautiful, so yes, that's cool. So, this one, I keep losing track of how many books there are, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so the 10th book that I bought, and this is another signed edition as well, which I think is really cool, and obviously I think it's pretty obvious what I'm about to say. This reminds me of The Burning Girls, the colour, the title, and also the cover in general. So this is called The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean, and yeah, as you can see, if you've read The Burning Girls or you have it, you probably know what I'm saying. Let's have a quick look. So, her husband calls her Jane. That is not her name. That rhymes. She lives in a small farm cottage surrounded by vast open fields. Everywhere she looks, there is space, but she is trapped. No one knows how she got to the UK. No one knows she is there. Visitors rarely came to the farm. If they do, she's never seen. Her husband records every movement during the day. If he doesn't like what he sees, she is punished. For a long time, escape seemed impossible, but now something has changed. She has a reason to live and a reason to fight. Now, she is watching him and waiting. So that sounds pretty cool, and the cover's quite cool as well. I am a little bit obsessed. When you take the sleeve off, that is the colour. So that was £12.99, and yeah, it's quite a thin book to be honest, but yeah, hopefully it's good. It sounds interesting, not like anything I've ever read before, and it's signed as well, which is really cool. Then we have got the last two that I bought in the one sitting. So this one is called Watch Her Fall by Erin Kelly, and yes, you're probably thinking what I was thinking. Black Swan. Not that I've ever seen it, but Black Swan. And yeah, the main reason I know, like, I thought that is because it's about a ballerina, I think. Yeah, so let me, yeah, Erin Kelly, that's who it's from. And this is also signed. Cool. Very cool. So watch her rise. After years of blood, sweat and tears, Ava Kirilova finally has the ballet world at her feet. But away from the spotlight, whispers backstage make her lonely and paranoid. Watch her fall, because someone is watching her from the wings. Someone who wants what she has, wants it so badly that two people will pay with their lives. So yeah, that sounds really interesting. And how beautiful is the, like, the side of the pages. Like, seriously, that is amazing how they've done that. So yeah, someone on the back said, Cosmopolitan said, think Black Swan but in book form. And then Grazia said, think Black Swan meets Killing Eve with the most brilliant twist. there we go then. I was right. It wasn't just me. Yeah, so that sounds really interesting. Again, it's signed by the author and I paid $14.99 for this. Again, it sounds really cool. Looks really cool. Adore that. And yeah, I might watch Black Swan. I might not, but I'm definitely reading this. So the last one that I bought from Waterstones is one that actually I wasn't going to pick up, but when I got to the till, I was just talking to the lady there and she said that she recommended it, and I was like, do you know what, it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So, and she gave it me for half price as well, which is really lovely of her. So yeah, so this is Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And I absolutely love the front cover of this as well, with the animals. I think it's really cool. Really like the colour of it as well. It's like peachy coloured. And this is Amanda and Clay are enjoying a taste of the good life when Ruth and GH, an older couple who claim to own the remote holiday home they are staying in, arrive seeking shelter. These strangers say that a power outage has swept the city, but with no phone service and the internet down, the facts are unknowable. What has happened back in New York? Is the holiday home a truly safe place for their families? And are they safe from one another? Well, we'll find out, won't we? It's a very small book, again, one I could read in about a day, and I actually got this for, I believe, about £4.50, which is really nice, really kind of the lady. And I'm sure that it's meant to be. I'm sure that it's for a reason. So I'm really intrigued to read this, and yeah, really awesome. Sorry, my camera cut out then. So yeah, I just wanted to say that Waterstones has currently got a buy one get one half price, which is an amazing deal that pretty much they have all year round actually. It really does make a difference to the end of your checkout, so how much you're paying. It's an excuse to get more books really, isn't it? So if you're on a book ban, don't go to Waterstones. So the last book from Waterstones that I'm going to show you is actually one that I went back into about a week later and bought, and it's one that this author is massive, like he's absolutely huge at the moment, and I think for a very good reason. I know that a few of his books haven't been as good as people thought they would be, but I'm going to leave that open to you know, people's opinions. I've never read anything from this author, but I know that he's a very cool person and I know that he's very talented. So Matt Haig is the guy I'm talking about. Very cool person, and this book just screamed out at me and asked me to buy it. That's the excuse I'm going to use, because it was quite expensive. So this is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig, and he is, as I said, like he's a #1 best-selling author, very cool person, and clearly wants to make people happy. So yeah, I've actually got Reasons to Stay Alive, I think it's called, and I'm going to be reading that at some point. I've got that as a Kindle book. Excuse me again. So, nothing is stronger than a small hope that doesn't give up. The Comfort Book is a collection of little islands of hope. It gathers consolations and stories that offer new ways of seeing ourselves in the world. Matt Haig's mix of philosophy, memoir and self-reflection builds on the wisdom of philosophers and survivors through the ages, from Marcus Aurelius to Nellie Bly, Emily Dickinson to James Baldwin. This is the book to pick up when you need the wisdom of a friend, the comfort of a hug, and a reminder that hope comes from unexpected places. That in itself is a very beautiful little description, and that is the beautiful Matt Haig right there. Look at his face. It's a nice face. And yeah, so he's written books, Reasons to Stay Alive, Notes on a Nervous Planet, and The Midnight Library. So yeah, very cool guy, very cool book, and I can imagine that I'm really going to like this. It's going to be the kind of book that I read on the side of reading like a fictional book, but I can imagine that this is the perfect time to release this book because so many people need it. It's been such a shit year, and yeah, a lot of people need comforting at this point. They need a hug that they can't have from family and friends. Yeah, so although the world is, you know, moving out of isolation, lockdown and shielding and stuff, there's still a lot of anxiety there. There's still a lot of fear, and I mean, I for one am very scared still. And yeah, this kind of book is, like it says, it's the comfort book, and it's the kind of thing that offers a warm hug that you need on bad days. And yeah, this book was £17, so this is the most expensive book that I've bought from this haul. And for a normal book, I probably would not usually pay that, but I've really heard a lot about this book, and it's something that I wanted to read as well for research because of the mental health work that I do. It's the kind of thing that if it's really good, it's a really good resource, then it's something that I can recommend to people who really need it. So yeah, so those are the 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Those are the 13 books that I bought from Waterstones, and I just want to share with you. I'm so sorry. I just want to share with you the last book that I bought. So my lovely friend Charlotte, who is also my life coach, put this on her Instagram that she bought this, and as soon as I saw it I was like, I want that book, I really want it. So this is called The Gut Stuff, and it is by Alana and Lisa McFarlane, who are twins, and they went into research. By being twins, they basically offered themselves up as essentially like guinea pigs, and yeah, they went on this massive journey of seeking sort of what was different about twins, and they figured that the gut and its microbes aren't the same, even though they are identical twins. So they embarked on a journey to discover and learn, and then write this guide about your gut and its microbes. So yeah, these are the two authors. Very beautiful but very lovely people, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I started reading like the first few pages and I really like it. I just need to sit down, get cozy and read it. To be honest, I might do it tonight because I am so chill, it's unbelievable. And it's actually really nice. I've not felt like this for a long time, so yeah, I might sit down and read that. I love the colour of the book, and I love the front cover. I love the fact that it's like very user friendly in a way, very audience friendly. Like it's it's not exactly a huge selling point, the fact that it's a gut, but that's what I mean, they make it so welcoming. And I've just hit myself with that again. Yeah, so welcoming, so warming and so inviting, and I just think it's really cool. I really want to learn about the gut and the microbes, and I generally just want to get healthier, so reading something like this will probably help, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I know you're sad, wipe your tears away, but this is the end of the book haul. Not many books, I know, but yeah. So I spent quite a bit. It was money that I had you know, saved up. I've done a lot for other people recently, and I just wanted to treat myself, and I think let's normalise us doing things for ourselves, because we should never ever be ashamed of wanting to buy things for ourselves. Life is too short. You should be happy, and if books make you happy, then just buy them. Obviously don't go into debt because of it, but if you have got the money spare, then do it. But yeah, so I'm very happy with this selection of books. I am already reading The Gunslinger amongst a few other books. I know I'm a serial reader, and yeah, so I'm really looking forward to these. I'm probably not going to read them all this year because I've got my TBR that I'm probably going to link below in this video. Probably not going to get through all of the books because I've cheekily read some books that weren't on my list. But yeah, so If you like books, then check out my other videos. You can also check out my Goodreads, NetGalley, amongst other things, as well as my blog. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I would love for you to share whether you've read any of these books, what you think of them. Feel free to leave your links below of like your reviews. I'd love to read them. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and yeah, I hope that you let yourself get some things that you want, even if you don't need them. You deserve it. It's been a very hard year and life can be very up and down, so just take care of yourself and show yourself some love. Hope you have a lovely day, week, month, year, and life in general, and I will see you soon. Bye!